Hello everyone, this is TMG here. When people talk about their favorite Mario villains, the names of Bowser, King Wart, Tatanga, and Wario are often thrown around. But someone you don't often hear about is Wingo. Now, not even Mario fans necessarily know much about this villain, and that's because he's technically from a spin-off game, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Captain Toad sold about 1.77 million units on the Nintendo Switch, which seems very good. But compared to Super Mario 3D World Plus Bowser's Fury, which sold 13.47 million units, it's no surprise that a lot of Mario fans don't actually know who Wingo is. I feel that Wingo is, number one, not a very well-known Mario villain, but his number two should be well-known. I really like when Nintendo likes to shake things up and change villains around. We see Bowser all the time. So a lot of people are surprised when I tell them that the villain of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is not Bowser. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on its own is already an underrated game that I feel should have sold better. If people only knew how much fun was in that game. Call me crazy if you will, but I actually enjoyed Treasure Tracker more than like Super Mario Odyssey or a lot of bigger 3D Mario games. I actually enjoyed Treasure Tracker more. Something I find interesting about Wingo is he's not necessarily a villain that's just being mean for the sake of it. He's not, evil for the sake of being evil. In fact, I don't know if you should really call Wingo evil, but Wingo is most similar to Wario. Wingo's a very greedy villain. If you look at the boss arena where you fight Wingo, it's just filled to the brim with gold. The reason why Captain Toad and Toadette are pit against Wingo this entire game is because they're fighting over a star. They're both after the same treasure. So I think that immediately sets Wingo apart as an interesting villain in that, like, Bowser's a conqueror. He's kind of everyone's enemy, right? I don't know. Like Super Mario Bros. 3. He just sends the Koopalings out and he just conquers the world. That's Bowser's main want right there. King Wart, he's a little similar. King Wart is an interesting villain too, which he might need his own video, in which King Wart is almost evil for the sake of being evil. I believe if you read the Super Mario Bros. 2 manual, you can actually kind of see how a lot of King Wart's minions appear in like the nightmares of Toad and stuff like that. So I feel like it's interesting to see King Wart might just be like putting nightmares in people's head just because he can. I feel like he's more evil than Bowser is. Bowser wants to conquer, he just wants more. King Wart is a villain where, yes, he conquers Subcon, but I feel like he's a villain that just likes inconveniencing people in their dreams. So already those are some pretty unique villains. And then Wingo. Wario and Wingo are comparable in a lot of ways, but in other ways they aren't. Because there's definitely some scenes where Wingo, I think, gets enjoyment from like separating Toad and Toadette and making them go on these massive journeys. But Wario's, like, if you play Super Mario Land 2, the main reason he's the villain is because he's jealous of Mario. Yes, Wario's a greedy character, but at the same time, he's also fueled by jealousy. A lot of Wario's beef with Mario it's very personal. Wario's jealous of Mario. Where Wingo, it's not personal at all. In fact, when you first encounter Wingo and he kidnaps Toadette, it almost seems like he doesn't even notice that he picks up a toad along with the star. It almost seems like you're like a flea to Wingo. It's only when you get to the end of the game that you feel like acknowledged by Wingo when you, for the first time, like stares at the camera and you're like, oh, Wingo. So, maybe a forgotten villain, a very underrated villain. I hope they make a Captain Toad Treasure Tracker 2, because I just blasted through that whole entire game and it was a very good game. But the thing that kept coming to my mind is what is Nintendo gonna do with Wingo? It'd be cool to see him return in a way. He can't return in a way like how Bowser does. Wingo would need a slight justification where, like, there's treasure. All I'm saying is he can't have the same type of conflict that Bowser or King Wart would have. But a very an underappreciated villain. And I really think Mario fans, you really need... Captain Toad only sold 1.77 million units on the Nintendo Switch. It was originally a Wii U game. But I think you're really doing yourself a disservice by not playing this game. Not just because it's a fantastic game overall. I'd actually, like, I enjoyed it more than a lot of mainline Mario games, the newer mainline Mario games like Super Mario Odyssey. Captain Toad's a really good game. It's very if you played the levels in Super Mario 3D World, those Captain Toad levels, those ones were decent. But you really need to play the ones from this game because they have a very different structure. It's very different from Mario, but very similar to Mario at the same time. So if you haven't played the game, you're doing yourself a disservice by not playing it. It's actually, you can probably get it for $30 on the Switch because it's a pretty old game. And then there's the $5 DLC, which I definitely recommend getting. That DLC, that's one of the best value DLCs I ever got from Nintendo. In fact, with Nintendo's current, like, the way they price things, I'm surprised that they haven't, like, decided to link the Captain Toad DLC to, like, Switch Online or something. I'm just glad you can purchase it. And, just $5, one-time purchase. And there's a pretty epic Wingo fight in that DLC, too. There might be some spoilers right here, so be careful. Where Wingo basically uses his magic powers to duplicate into 2 Wingos. One thing I think Wingo's encounters are most comparable to Bowser's encounters in Super Mario 64, where you encounter him many times, or Super Mario 64 is 3 times. I think it's either 3 or 4 times in Captain Toad where you fight him, and it's a similar boss fight each time, but every time Wingo has new moves and the arena gets walls are taken down on the arena to make it easier for Wingo to blow you off the arena. So yeah, I don't know, I thought I'd just this is an unscripted video in case you couldn't tell, but Wingo's a very underappreciated villain. I feel that Wingo has been forgotten by many Mario fans. So go play Captain Toad, go fight Wingo and tell me what you think. You can tell when a villain's good when they leave an impression on you, and I think Wingo is one of those villains. Along with King Wart, Bowser, even to Tango and Wario, they left. Those are the enemies you don't forget about. So yeah, go play Captain Toad. I'm probably gonna post a review for the game soon because it was such a good game. Oh my goodness. Super Mario, yeah. Who cares about the new games coming out for the Switch 2? We got Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is all I'm saying. So yeah, TMG out. I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know, maybe I should make videos on Bowser and King Wart and Tatanga and all that stuff too. I don't know. I just make what I feel like making. So TMG out, goodbye.